If you're seeing this, then this is your new moon in Virgo messages. Welcome. My name is Lara. We're gonna dig in with some oracle cards and some tarot cards, and we're gonna get we're gonna get some information about what it is we're meant to focus on under this new moon in Virgo energy. It's intense. How you feeling, honey? Yeah, that sounds about right. We'll talk about a little bit about the astrology, why it is so intense, but also we're going to see where we're going to be placing our focus under this energy, and in order to place our focus there, what needs to be removed and what needs to be brought in order to move through this energy in a way that aligns with our highest good, right? So yeah, our higher selves. So that's what we're going to take a look at. Settle in. We're going to chat all about it. I have my Dragon Path Oracle, my Moon deck, and my tarot cards as well. So we are going to get into it. This new moon in Virgo is here on September 21st, 2025. So if you're finding this video and it's on or close to that time, then great, because that's the energy that we're all in at the moment in this particular spot on the space-time continuum. However, time is not linear, it is cyclical. So whenever you are finding this, it could be a week, a month, a year, 5 years, I don't know. Whenever you're finding this, you're finding it for your own reasons, okay? Which you get to decide whether or not this is for you and what those reasons are, because you're connected or tapped into this particular energy in whatever way, okay? So great. Doesn't matter when you see this. Take it for what you will. Please use your intuition. You know what's best for you, okay? Use your critical thinking and make decisions for yourself. Yay! That is what is the best thing about being a sovereign being, is making decisions for yourself, and then the responsibility that you get to take for doing so. So you're going to know what's best for you. These are general readings, so it may not be super specific because there's a lot of us, or who knows what a lot. Maybe it's just maybe it's just me. Maybe there's just the two of us. But either way, I don't know who or where you are, okay? Like concretely, all right? So it may not be super specific to what you're going through, like a personal reading would be, but you know, hopefully you'll find some insight, some clarity that you can take with you. Maybe you'll be entertained at the very least. All right. So yeah, it's, you know, it doesn't have to be that serious. Okay. Now, that being said, let's talk about the astrology. So the astrology that we have that's here with this new moon in Virgo on September 21st. This is also a solar eclipse. It is the only solar eclipse that's happening in our eclipse season. All of the rest of them are lunar. And eclipse season started with the full moon on September 9th. So we've been in this eclipse portal, okay, between these two, the full and the new moon. This new moon is our second new moon in Virgo, okay? And what else about her? She's also coming a day before the, I almost said spring. If you're in the southern hemisphere, it'll be spring. But where I am in the Northern Hemisphere, it is autumn. So literally tomorrow will be autumn, a whole new season, and Libra season. So there's a lot shifting, a lot changing. The astrologers were saying that the worst of this year, like energetically, astrologically speaking, was going to be between August and September. So that being said, we're sort of walking out of this space that we've been in for a few weeks, like 4 or 6 weeks, under this energy of the new moon. Okay, so how's everyone feeling? I am a river of emotions, just depending on what moment you catch me in. When am I not? But it's intense energy, okay? Eclipses intensify all of the energies around us. So new moons are catalysts for new beginnings that we have every month. That combined with the equinox energy, okay? The changing of the season. This is where the equinox is also where we find a lot of balance, and it takes us into Libra season, which is all about balance as well. So the equinox is when the light and the dark are equal to each other. It's that one point in the year. So it's where like the order balances with the chaos. All right. Potent time for new beginnings. I think from what I've been picking up, a lot of this is really, I mean, this new moon is in Virgo again. So, so the energy that we have is like, get your together, right? So that you can bring in the things that you want to bring in. It's also a potent time for shedding what no longer is serving you. All right. The universe, because of the eclipse energy, which is intensifying all of that energy that's already intense. Okay. Eclipses are eclipsing things out for you, whether or not you like it. Okay. But it's also eclipsing things in, for whatever that's worth. So a lot of it is like letting the universe do its thing, and getting really clear about what your next steps are and finding the balance so that you can move forward and go after whatever it is you may be going after, if you're going after something. Not everybody's going after something. But yeah, so super huge energy. It's also at like the last degree of Virgo, because there's like degrees. I am not this adept at astrology to really know what that means, but because it's at the 29th degree going into the 30th degree, there's 30 degrees in each, like around a wheel, there's 30 degrees in each zodiac. So it's also like at the end. So it's the end of a big chapter. The energy we're working with is definitely themes from this time last year, what was going on in your life a year ago, what was going on last March, because there's patterns. I know for me, when I'm looking, I'm like, aha, I see where I've jumped. Okay. So, so pick up on those breadcrumbs. And then also it's connected to like 10 and a half years ago, March of 2015, where it was the polar opposite of this energy. Okay, so presumably through this energy, we're going to do a complete 180. And if that is amazing news to you, we're in the same boat. Because where I was 10 and a half years ago. Okay. Yes. There's a lot of stuff going on with Saturn as well. Saturn is retrograding. I can't even keep track of the retrograde stuff. We've had so much of it. I think it's retrograding in Pisces or something. It's moving around. It's doing all these crazy things. everybody in the sky is very active. Venus, it's all over the map. So if you're feeling really intense energy, if you're feeling extra sensitive or tired or emotional, this is pretty par for the course, okay? Because we are all in our own way shedding a skin, okay? There's a version of us that cannot come through to the other side of this. All right. So that's what I know. My limited knowledge on that kind of stuff. But anyway, it's huge. So let's go ahead and dive in, shall we? We've got our dragon path. So let's go ahead and see who would like to come and usher us through this portal of the new moon in Virgo. Well, whoever, is that you? Ooh, okay. Interesting. So we have the philosopher with Saturn right there. Huge amounts. That's what I didn't say before. There's karmic debts that are being paid at this time. Okay. If you're doing your work, which if you're here, you might be in some capacity. All right. So the philosopher is also giving Sagittarius energy, but we have Saturn in the background of there. So much green too. It's like this neon green, but green is like a super abundant energy. There is a book and a little candle that this dragon is like reading from, getting information. Okay, let's see what the book says about the philosopher. I'm loving this energy. Just getting us started. Okay. This wise old dragon is all about learning the direction your life is taking. Okay, no big deal. This can be in your 3D physical world or on a metaphysical level. He shows up, or both, probably. He shows up when you have been considering taking up any kind of study, whether you are returning to or continuing with formal education or undertaking personal or spiritual development, okay? So yeah, all that karmic debt. This is a huge time for shadow work. So shadow stuff is coming up a lot. Letting go of our perfectionism with that Virgo energy. He came bringing a strong connection to Galileo and to the planets, the solar system, mathematics, and science. He says, one is never too old or young to learn. Set your sights high and reach for the stars. You have much to gain from and to reveal to your learning partners. He has a particular affinity with the stars and constellations and is often associated with people learning the old arts such as astrology, scrying, and divination, as well as the sciences. He goes on to say, you have been putting off that which you want to learn. Your self-doubt hinders you from following your passion and your true path. Didn't need the dragon to tell me that. Okay, your affinity with the old arts is the starting point of your journey. Take this as notice that you should follow that which you seek with your heart, for only then will you truly tread the steps of your destiny. His presence helps us navigate our world in our chosen direction. He becomes our compass, our guiding star when we are at a loss as to what comes next. Call upon his presence to help steer you forward. Okay? It doesn't matter if you don't know what comes next. What's important is that you keep moving forward. Okay. So that's the philosopher. Big energy. Right out of the gate. Underneath the deck, we had peace come up. So love this energy. Need more of that as well. Okay. So that's sort of like an underlying energy. Yes. Okay, let's get our tarot deck here. And I'm going to ask for 3 cards today. Could we please have our first card, which is what you'd like us to focus on? What would you like us to focus on? Can we just have one card as to what we are meant to focus on underneath this energy? There it is. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay, more big energy. Let's take a look at what, this is our focus. Okay, second card. Can we please have a card showing us what we'll need to release with this focus in mind? What do we need to release with this focus? What do we need to release? I just need one card. Yeah, I just need one card, but thank you. Is that it? Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to run with it. Okay. Thank you. Oh, this is so interesting. And then, okay, one card to show what it is we're bringing in. What are we going to bring in with this focus in mind? What do we need to bring in? What do we need to bring in order? Okay. All right, let me take a look at this really quick. All right, let's take a look at it. We're going to talk about our shadow cards first. This is the energy that's underneath the deck here and representing our subconscious. So we have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. A lot of what's been coming up for you has been about the ways in which there is imbalance. Perhaps you are overgiving in a way, or you are feeling that you are being taken from more than you have to give. There's an imbalance within our resources in some way. Okay. So I think that's been coming up for us. And with the Tower card, this is all a part of what's being ripped away with the eclipse. Okay. And I think we are keyed into that. All right. So that's at least good news, because what is falling away is going to fall away. And like, you just got to let it fall to the wayside here. However, it's left with the 7 of Wands. It's leaving us feeling very vulnerable. You know, I think there's not a lot of like protective, like we are not protecting our space. And a lot of the energy is coming in and it's really affecting us. Maybe, you know, if you've been extra drained, what have you. Okay. And that is what I think that's also because this is the Wands. This is what's affecting maybe your feelings of motivation or your literal energy levels. Okay. This is, for me, this particular 7 of Wands has a lot to do with spiritual hygiene and creating sacred sovereign space so that as energies come at you, because that's just what happens, okay? It's not like, sometimes it's malicious, but it's not always. But just, you know, going out into public or like being around another person, your energies mix, your auras intermingle. Okay, so just like you take a shower, you should also be psychically creating clear space to protect yourself from what's coming at you. Okay. So it's possible that you feel really drained at this time. And it's been difficult to leave whatever it is you have been asked to leave. Don't I know it? Don't I know it? Listen, I did a cord cutting yesterday. Unlike anything I've ever seen in my life, the string between the two candles literally stayed intact the entire way down until one of the candles burnt itself completely out. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Whatever. At least I showed up to do the cord cutting. I don't know how else I can let it go. All right. But anyway, here we go. It's been difficult to let it go. And I think there's a lot of, you know, I think like manipulating, gaslighting your own self and how you're feeling. Or like emotional manipulation happening internally, because these are our shadow cards. And I think that's like really shining a light on where we don't feel fully aligned and where we're reluctant to step into this new chapter. But it's all imposter syndrome, okay, with the Seven of Swords in reverse. All right. So a lot of insecurity, a lot of lack of like personal power or sovereignty. Okay. All right. No big deal. But this is what we have to look at, because where we're stepping into, we really need to be taking our space and standing in our power. Why am I saying that? Because our focus under this energy is the Strength card. Strength, power. There's confidence in this card as well. What I love about this one is that she is literally embodying, she is part lion here, and she sits with the lamb. And nothing here, nothing about this is forced. She just is. She is ferocious and soft at the same time. Who is this reading for? It's for all of us. And it's how we stand in our power, and it's how we exercise our power as well. That it's not about being loud or forcing things. That's not where your strength comes from. Okay, so that's literally our focus. That's why all this junk is coming up from under our subconscious. So we're focusing on our personal power. And with the Knight of Swords in reverse, this is representing what we are going to be letting go. What do we need to let go of? This is this is eclipses. This is what this whole last couple weeks have been asking us. We have, first of all, we're talking about the Knight of Swords. Swords are representing our minds, our communication, and like our mental faculties. Your lack of focus, let it go. Your maybe like frustration with certain circumstances, let it go. Your impulse to run towards or make certain decisions, okay? You know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about for you, but I think you probably know what I'm talking about. Okay? Because a lot of it is mental. It's reflecting in your physical world for sure, but it's been holding you. This is what's holding you back. Maybe you're like, oh, but like the circumstances because of XYZ, da 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 da. And yes, the answer is yes, but also you don't have to know where you're going. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's what we're letting go. And then we have, as far as what we're bringing in, the King of Swords. All right, so it's interesting because we have this younger knight energy here. I mean, it's like more mature than a page, certainly. But with the impulsiveness here. And then what we're bringing in is this more mature, focused, the King of Swords sits with a higher perspective. He is in tune into, there's the crow or raven, whatever. I mean, a lot of the same symbolism there. The bat, okay, who relies on sonar rather than sight. So it's not just seeing with eyes. And the owl here representing wisdom, okay? And up in these mountains. So we're bringing in this almost like higher self, wise mind is what I really get out of this card. If you've ever done any kind of meditation stuff, they talk about wise mind. And what wise mind is there is an emotional mind where your emotional responses are coming from. Then there is a detached, I don't think I'm explaining this correctly, by the way, just full disclosure. Okay. Then there's like this detached perspective, like a higher perspective, and the wise mind meets somewhere in the middle. So do yourself a favor and just like look that up again for a more thorough explanation, because it's been a while actually since I've been talking about wise mind. But yes, wise mind. All right. So I feel like that's what it is. Yeah, and letting yourself get above a situation. Okay? Seeing from a different perspective. Seeing from an elevated version of you. That like already knows what to do. This person also isn't like rushing forward in any capacity. Right? So that's what we've got. Let the clarity come. I think a lot of like how we've been stuck with the lack of focus and the uncertainty is because we have been held back by these circumstances and we have yet to really get ourselves above the situation, to find the ways to do it anyway. All right. There you have it. Let's get a moon deck card here, just for like last looks, a little affirmation or advice or what have you, as we close out our reading. So what moon deck card do we have to sort of punctuate this reading here? I mean, I like it. Also, like when we're talking about strength and what we're bringing in with the King of Swords, you know what I'm saying? There's more of those elements of sovereignty. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, my home is a sacred space of full of beauty, inspiration, and protection. Also, like Virgo, cleaning, okay? Clear things out physically as a symbolic act spiritually and psychologically, that you are clearing and making space. Let's see what the little bookie book says about it. It's number 35. Okay. This is like big Virgo theme energy. Home is a private, sacred haven. It's a place where we can ground, love, unwind, celebrate, cry, laugh, and restore. Your home is an expression of your spirit and wants your love. Oh. When you create it with a sense of beauty, inspiration, and protection, you create a sanctuary. An altar lifts the vibration of your home and can be a place to cultivate deep presence. This is your special nook where you can meditate, pray, journal, contemplate, and create. Okay. Maintain your own version of sacredness and tend to your space. Clear and clean regularly. Girl, what else I eat? Also, like, just because it's like right before the equinox, that's also a really good time. Like, clear out the old so that the new can come in and balance you out, right? Offer flowers and stones throughout, light special candles, add images, textures, and colors that uplift you. Discard anything that brings you down, no matter how sentimental. Put this into practice and create a sacred home anywhere. And then the ritual that they suggest is design your space. With simple and thoughtful touches, you can make any space feel sacred and beautiful. Consider this ritual an expression of your spirit. Design your sanctuary so you feel held and inspired. And then they have like a write-up of what you can do. Open the windows, smudge your home, burn incense, set up an altar if you don't already have one. Reorganize and clear your altars if you already do, and then like sit at your altar and walk through the home and tend to areas that need love. Okay. This is hilarious because I was like, after this, for my new moon ritual, I'm like, I got stuff I got to get rid of. I started going through like my whole house, and I've really only tackled 2, closets in my bedroom, and I have like a whole, anyway, yeah, so on point. All right, that's it. That's our reading. I hope this made sense. Does that make sense? It made some sense to me. More will always be revealed, but I think this is really interesting because, yeah, and I love our focus on our strength. So you have the strength to do this. In case no one told you before, you have the strength to do this. So let's go do this, right? I am going to leave it at that. If you would like more information on me or connecting with me, there's some stuff down in the bottom of this description box. Please like, share this video, subscribe to the channel, what have you. I do new moon readings every month. I do full moon readings. I also do Tarot Tuesday every week. So I'll be back in a couple days with your Tarot Tuesday, and that will be a day after the solstice. So I'm sure we're going to have a lot more to dive into, and we'll take a look at the next week ahead of us. So have an amazing new moon and autumn solstice, equinox. I always mix those two up. Whatever, my intention and my heart is there. That being said, I'm going to leave it at that. And I will, as per usual, I will see you on the other side.